Hello, ladies and gentlemen, on such important day. Today, 29th of March, is the last lunar day, which is finalizing the lunar year. And then tomorrow, 30th of March, is the first lunar day of the new year. This is 1st of Nisan. In this video, I will describe to you the significance of this lunar day, of this day, very significant, very important for the upcoming year. I will describe to you the ancient roots of this day. This is 1st of Nisan. Later on, this tradition was carried on by the Arabic nations, by the Israeli people, many others too. But they have quite clear description of similar importance of this day. Then I will describe to you how exactly 1st of Nisan was celebrated in ancient Babylon. Maybe it was also actually in the whole Mesopotamia area. This day was celebrated. It was called Akitu festival. Akitu actually means festival, I think, in Akkadian, though there was some arguments over the translation of the word Akitu. Akitu was especially in Babylon, was celebrated twice. One time after the moon appears for the first time after the spring equinox. The sun needs to be in the point of the equinox, which is near the 5th degrees of Pisces. And then second time they celebrated Akitu, which was the day of the autumn equinox, when the sun is in the autumn equinox and the moon appears for the first time. Both were called Akitu festivals with great importance. Why were they so important? Now, before I tell you a little bit more about our Akitu, our 1st of Nisan, how the year will look like according to this chart, to tell you 2-3 words on why this day was so symbolic and so important. First of all, I'm noticing, ladies and gentlemen, more and more that since very ancient times we were ruled by, and the world basically is arranged by symbolism, by symbols. You will notice, and you probably noticed already, everything around us is a symbol. Symbolic signs, sigils, formulas, symbols everywhere. And you see this has very ancient roots. You will see how symbolic the whole Akitu festival is, and I will just give you a very brief description of the 12 days of celebration, because this is important. One thing I noticed, and I like to share with you too, people, we in our egregore, our collective universe, if you want, we celebrate the solar new year as we do 30th of December, 31st of December, the solar new year. What I understood, and you may disagree or agree with me, this, I will tell you how this may be labeled, described. The beginning of the lunar year, which is the Akitu festival, actually is related to the collective consciousness. The solar new year, the one we celebrate on 31st of December, which is detached from our connection with nature, it is detached. It is also very symbolic. Maybe I will maybe make a video on the symbolism. Probably most of you know it, but I mean the hidden symbolism of the 31st December, 24th December, 25th Christmas, and so there is a lot of hidden symbolism which you most probably know about, but this is about the collective lack of consciousness. This is exactly like a summary which I made from descriptions of these two very important days. So the Lunar New Year, which is literally our connection with such important celestial points, which are the equinoxes. Now for the northern hemisphere, this is the spring equinox. For the southern, this will be autumn. In both cases, points of the equinoxes are our connection with nature. This is what we celebrate. So the whole meaning of Akitu, of this New Year festival was to establish harmony with nature. This was indispensable for people's future social life. It was about that. Secondly, to reaffirm the bond between the community and the gods. The gods, who are the gods? They are called gods. Are they gods? These are the planetary rulers. What I will tell you in a moment about each of the 12 days of the celebration of the New Year's festival, Akitu, the main divinity, the patron of Babylon, because I will give you the Babylonian example. We have also records of the example of Ur, but the difference is very little, and it is all about different divinity and patron of the city. So it is about reaffirming connection with gods, because the Hermetic laws, what above, so below. Our connection with the planets, with the planetary rulers, is absolutely important for our well-being, for living in harmony with nature, because every planetary ruler is also ruling certain stones, certain herbs, plants, colors, food, everything. To be in harmony with nature, we need to be in harmony with the sky. So therefore, people knew that back then, and they would reaffirm their bond with the community of gods, because we don't have only one ruler, only Jupiter, Marduk, but Ninurta is ruling Saturn, Nabu is ruling Mercury, Nana was ruling the moon, and so on. Also, to enact rituality, periodical changes, the cycles. They would celebrate the cycles in the nature. The cycle of the vernal, the spring equinox. This is the beginning of life. They would also emphasize on the agriculture, how to plant, when to plant. Oh, they did this in harmony with the moon, in harmony with the planetary rulers. So, Akitu festivals. Now, they would have out of the city, they would have one which was called Bit Akitu. Bit means house, which was house for Akitu, house for the festival. They would have a house which was very, very shiny, with ornaments, with special plants and trees. They were amazing agriculturers. And Bit Akitu, this house was made out of the city for some reason, for the celebration of the day. On the first day, and we speak about Babylon in particular because we have emphasis on Marduk, who was a patron of Babylon. And what I will be telling you now is based on the well-known work written on a cuneiform manuscript called Enuma Elish, translated Epic of Creation, but it is not exactly so, but it is about the creation myth. So on the 1st of Nisan, the first lunar day, which is tomorrow, 30 of March, because in the evening we will see the first lunar crescent after the moon entered the point of the equinox, the vernal equinox. So during these first 5 days, there would be rituals of the priest in the temple of Babylon, which was called as a Gila, I don't know how to pronounce this. So the priests and the priestess would be attuned to desolation. They would make their purification rites. They would be alone in the temple. Each morning before sunrise, the high priest, after the ritual washing, after purification, cleans. Alone will pray to Marduk first and then to the other gods. To Marduk first because Marduk, Jupiter, was the patron of Babylon. So I have from the work of Enumelish with his prayer. One sentence I tell you just to give you the sense how it looked like. So typical of the moon of those days, they would sing before dawn on the second day also. Lord, without peer in thy wrath, Lord, gracious King, Lord of the lands, who made salvation for the great gods, Lord of kings, Lord of men, oh Lord, Babylon is thy seat, and so. Basically praising the god. So it was mainly this. And then on the 5th day, the king is the main participant, and this is when they humiliate the king. Why? This is simply ritual to... Actually, I think this is very symbolic, and it is made, the humiliation ritual, when they even slap the king, was to... In case there were omens who would mean bad to the king, this way they give manifestation, they give opportunity for these omens also to play out. This is also for the public, of course, to give satisfaction to the public, but in general this has ominous meaning, I believe. So in the 5th day, in the morning, the high priest again will offer prayers. All the time they do that, to Marduk. The white star Jupiter, which brings omens to the world, is my Lord. My Lord, be at peace. The star god Mercury, which causes rain, is my Lord. My Lord, be at peace. The star Gina, Saturn, star of law and order, is my Lord. My Lord, be at peace. So they would address all gods. And then the high priest will... then took up the insignia and gave them back to the king, because they take all symbols of power from the king, his crown, his rod, and so then because he has to be humiliated, in the end they give them back to the king. Exactly, it is in order, and then they strike his face 2 times and let him cry, and these tears, they see if there is a favorable omen while the king is crying, the proof of God's will. Tears mean emotion, and so this is about this day. Then on the 6 days, the gods arrive at large in Babylon. Among them is Nabu, the son of Marduk. Now, what it means, God comes, I think the statues of the other cities, excuse me, my dog. So the statues of the gods were brought in Babylon, being main city of Akkad. This means that the gods would arrive in the chapel, in the temple of Marduk. And so 7th day, before that, Marduk was also, there is another ritual. Marduk is captivated in the mountains, and Nabu, his son, arrives with the other gods, and he's supposed to liberate his father by force from the mountain of the netherworld. Then on the 8th day, the gods assemble to bestow their combined powers on Marduk. All gods bless Marduk, who obtain a destiny beyond compare. See how they, by symbolic actions, gave powers to Babylon using the planetary rulers. It is amazing. After Marduk's liberation, the statues of God were brought together in the Chamber of Destinies to determine destiny. This is on the 8th day, and another determination of destiny will be done again on the 11th day. They made the priestly days for him, and he sat down facing his fathers as counselors. Thou art of consciousness, consequence among the elder gods, thy rank is unsurpassed, and thy command is Anus, Anu the main god. Marduk, thou art of consequence among the elder gods, thy rank is unequaled, and thy command is Anu. So, yeah, this is all about praising him on the 9th day, procession to beat Akitu, the house of, Akitu. And again, well, this is a little bit long this is about they make ritual to destroy the chaos again. I think they mean Tiamat, because in the mythological story, Marduk, who is grandson of Tiamat, the dragon, actually destroyed her because she wanted to destroy humanity. 10th day, Marduk celebrates his victory with the gods of the upper and the underworld at a banquet in the, again, beat Akitu, and returns to Babylon for the sacred marriage rite. Why would they perform sacred marriage rite? To mark the beginning of the fruitfulness, the fruitful season. Because if we're speaking about the equinox, the vernal equinox, the people of Sumer assemble in the palace, the house which guides the land. The king builds a throne for the queen of the palace. He sits beside her on the throne in order to care for the life of all the lands. The exact first day of the disappearance of the moon, on the day of the sleeping of the moon, the sacred measures, the me, are perfectly carried out, and so on, so on. They would sing also in the first days quotations from Enu Mailish, and so the sacred marriage would take place in Marduk's temple of Babylon, very important for the beginning of the fruitful season. 11th day, second determination of destiny, like I told you. The gods assemble once more, and on the 12th day they leave Babylon. Similar rituals I read were done in other cities, but of course with different divinities. So you see, very important day. Maybe on this day we can do some good beginnings, some good things for ourselves. Saying this, I can't emphasize enough how important it is indeed on this day to meditate, to do spiritual practices, to connect with the planetary rulers. Like I tell you, when I make my monthly videos related to every planetary day. When I describe the planetary days, I mention each lunary days ruling divinity. We say the moon is ruled by the Monday is ruled by the moon, Tuesday is ruled by Mars, Wednesday by Mercury, Thursday by Jupiter, Friday Venus, Saturday Saturn, and Sunday Sun. Because the more we are connected with the skies, with the planets, with nature, of course the better we live, the more we enhance our intuition, health, I believe. So this is why I really find such days maybe to celebrate them as you wish, or to look at my girl, she's my doggy. No, okay. So this is all for good, I believe. So now let me tell you how 1st of Nisan looks, the horoscope of 1st of Nisan. Interesting horoscope. The moon appears, first the sun is in sidereal Pisces, and we have big stellium of planets. We have Mercury, we have Venus exalted, we have Neptune on his throne, and the sun, of course, and we will have, and the moon appears in the first degrees. Actually, this will be a little bit different for the different places in the world. The moon is appearing for the first time in Aries. This is a bit ominous because classically the tradition for our contemporary position of the vernal equinox, which is 5th degree Pisces, the moon appears usually traditionally in Pisces, but now the moon appears in Aries. Last year it was the same. The last 3 years this was the same. Aries, the moon is emphasizing on Aries. What is Aries? This is Mars. This is Mars. This is martial activities, wars. So we will not see peace also in this upcoming year. At the same moment, Mars is conjoined Pollux, the martial star of Gemini, one of the two great twins. Castor and Pollux, these are Gilgamesh and Enkidu. And Mars is in a martial star. Very, very martial situation. Of course, Jupiter makes harmonious aspect to the big stellium in Pisces, which is good because Jupiter is ruling Pisces. And his helpful, benevolent aspect, of course, is giving good energy, blessing, if you want, denies most of the evil, actually, too. So, this is a little bit complex horoscope indeed for the collective. Like I'm telling you, this is the chart which is influencing the collective pretty much. I forgot to mention Rahu, the head of the dragon. Lunar node is together with Venus, is together with Mercury, Neptune. In fact, in Pisces we have benevolent stars, but we have the square from Mars. Nothing of this is really scary, but it's emphasizing on martial activities, which is war. We will not have a complete peace on Earth also this year. As we know, nobody is surprised. So, in addition, Saturn is invisible. It means, why is this also significant? Because the beginning of every cycle is showing how this whole cycle will look like. Saturn is invisible, hidden in the last degrees of Aquarius. The governments are planning things. He's hidden. None of this is to be seen. So you have, of course, second agenda, which is taking place behind our sights and vision. So this is Saturn invisible and quite powerful because he's in Aquarius. Later on 30th of April, when he becomes visible in Pisces, we will see new agenda related to the Aquarius matters, the new epoch, the new coming era, because Saturn became invisible in Aquarius. He will be also related to Pisces because he becomes visible in Pisces, which is still the era of Pisces is the natural ruler of the 12th house. This is about collective difficult karma. So when he becomes visible in Pisces, this will be automatically related to all of us, to the 12th house matters, which will be some karma to pay, obviously, which they're cooking, which, it is being cooked now. And these are divine powers, actually, planetary divine rulers, powers which decide on people's destinies. When I say this sounds like we are powerless. It is not true, because when we know, we are not powerless. We can change a lot. We can connect with the planetary rulers for good. We can wear on every single their gemstone or talismans. I made for last time on 8th and 10th of February. the last possible talismans of Saturn. You can see them on my website, because later it will take years until I can make new ones. But Saturn talismans are great for protection, for wisdom, for connection with this planetary ruler, who is the difficult one. On the 30th, tomorrow, I will make the Venus talismans with the appearance of the first lunar crescent. This is also significant because Venus is in Pisces, beautifully placed right in the point of the equinox. So saying this, the chart is not so difficult, but shows instability, a little bit of martial disharmony, because the moon appears in these first degrees of Aries, where you have one of the fishes, one of the Pisces from the constellation of Pisces. And these degrees are not very, very easy, but they're called white degrees, light degrees, because they're ruled by Athena. So we will see still instability, chaos. The wars will not be over, but also some very dignified, glorious actions, because these are degrees of Athena Pallas. So, what to tell you more, ladies and gentlemen? I hope this was interesting. Do your spiritual work, meditate. Tomorrow, actually, it's a great day, and enjoy. All the best.